Hey guys, in this video you will learn how to select a domain name that is brandable and is also future proof for your business. So domain name is an identity for your business. So selecting a brandable domain name is really important. 5 to 7 years back, people used to say that you need to have SEO keywords in your domain name, and they used to pick domain names like besttreadmillsformoney.com or best yoga mats for kids under 5.com. Just kidding. The point I'm trying to make here is you need to get a brandable domain name and should not chase to have keywords in the domain name. Long gone are the days when Google used to favor your site because it has SEO keywords in them, right? So you need to go with brandable domain names. So back when I started blogging, I chose this domain name gobloggingtips.com, right? If you're a long term follower of me, you know that bloggingx was previously Go Blogging Tips. I bought the domain name mainly because it had the term blogging tips in it, right? I wanted to rank for blogging tips, right? So and later I realized Go Blogging Tips is not at all brandable, right? So I can't wear a t-shirt that says Go Blogging Tips, but I would be rather comfortable wearing a t-shirt with blogging X on it. Choosing a brandable domain name to begin with is really important because you may be familiar about the brand Sumo, right? The guys behind AppSumo, right? So they were previously SumoMe, and later on they invested around $1.5 million in getting Sumo.com. Why they did this? It's just because of branding. Because people were mispronouncing their brand, like it was SumoMe, but they were pronouncing it like Sumo, stuff like that, right? So again, not selecting a proper name for your domain name can be a costly mistake, right? You need to select brandable domain names. And when it comes to TLDs, whether you need to go with .com or .net, .org or .co, I highly recommend you to go with .com, right? I'm not a big fan of fancy TLDs like .photography or .tech or anything like that. I prefer to go with .com or .co, right? If you really like a domain name and the .com version is not available, you can go with .co. But I haven't started any site that is not .com. All the sites that I have started till now are .com. So, and also don't go with TLDs like .co.in or .in or .co.uk or anything like that, right? Go with global TLDs like .com or .co, right? And when it comes to decision between .org and .net, I would choose .net. Apart from this, you can also have your own name in your domain name. One classic example is neilpatel.com, right? So he has his whole name in his domain name. Why? He wants to put his personal brand in the forefront, right? So if you want to put your personal brand on the forefront, then you can go with a domain name with your name in it. Or else, for most of the people, like generic brandable domain names would be the best way to go. Again, this video is geared towards selecting your brandable domain name because if you are okay with having your personal name in your domain name, then this video may not be so useful for you, because the things that we are going to discuss in this video will be effective for you to find brandable generic domain names. Let's get started. So the first one is elements of a domain name. First, you need to understand what are all the elements of a really good domain name. So the first element is it should be brandable. Brand is the new SEO factor, right? So brands are the future. You need to make sure that your domain name is brandable, or else it will be a costly mistake for you. Okay. And the next one, it should be memorable. Your blog name should be brandable and memorable. Okay. And it should be easy to spell. If you consider blogging X, it's easy to spell, especially among the blogging community, right? So it should be relatable to the audience. These are all the things that are really important, right? The memorability and ease of spelling. Let's suppose that you're invited to a podcast and you want to promote your blog name. Now, if your blog name or your domain name is really complex, then you need to manually spell the domain name. Okay, so in that case, it's important to have a really memorable domain name so that it will be relatable to your audience and they likely be a long term follower of your blog. Okay, and it should be short rather than going with long domain names for SEO purpose and all. Go with a shorter domain name. Like, SEO doesn't matter, I told you earlier, right? Having keyword in the domain name won't make any difference in SEO. And you need to go with .com or .co TLDs for your domain name. Personally, I have never went for TLDs other than .com. I highly suggest you to go with .com domain names unless you are catering a local audience. For example, if you are specifically catering for Canadian audience or Indian audience, you can go with .ca or .in. But most of the times .com would be the ideal because you won't be locked down to a certain region or a country when blogging. And your blog should not contain any numbers or hyphens, it should contain only letters. Okay, and the next one is, first, once you are sure about what are all the elements that your domain name needs to have, you need to brainstorm some niche terms related to your industry. Okay, so in this stage you will be brainstorming and researching the commonly used terms, synonyms, slangs, jargons in the niche that you have selected. You can make use of thesaurus, topic modeling, and other semantic tools to expand upon the initial list that you have prepared. Okay, for example, if you are in fitness niche, so what you can do is you need to make a huge list of terms related to fitness. Okay, so first let me create a mind map. So you have fitness in the middle, that is your niche. Now you need to find some related terms to fitness. Okay, so fitness terminologies. So you need to make a huge list of the fitness related terms here. Okay, so you have training, so that would be a really good term. Okay, and you have cardio that I have researched. You need to make use of some of these blog posts, glossary of fitness terms, A to Z gym and fitness related terms. So there are many resources for you to explore, so you can make use of these things. Fit, okay, the short form of fitness. And bulk, in case if you are into muscle building. So core, that's also quite good. And lift. And you can also search for fitness synonyms: strength, health, and fitness slangs, maybe reps, and beast. So again, like this, you need to make a huge list of terms related to your industry. So the more number of list items that you have, the better it is. Okay, so you can also make your mind run free wildly for brainstorming the terms that are related to your niche. Again, you can rinse and repeat this process for finding the synonyms related to each of these things, like training synonyms, fit synonyms, strength synonyms, and further expand upon this list. Okay, the more number of items that you have in this list, the better it is for finding a really good domain name for your fitness related site. So the next one is, you need to research the domain names. Okay, at this stage you will be using the tools like Lean Domain Search, Datometer, Name Mesh, Instant Domain Search, and many other tools for returning the domain names related to the terms that you have come up with before. Okay, these tools will mix and match them and add suffixes, prefixes, and suggest you available domain names. So you have the term fitness. Okay, so the main tool that I am going to use here is Lean Domain Search. This is the first tool that I use whenever I'm searching for any domain name regarding my niche. Okay, so you have the term fitness. Okay, so again, there will be a shortage of domain names when it comes to fitness because the fitness is a really popular term in the fitness industry. So yeah, you can sort these domain names. I can also make use of the word fit and sort by popularity and starts with search term. Again, this is a mainstream term, fit. Okay, you can go with other synonyms like these ones, like strength, health, reps, training. Let me go with lift. So let me scroll down. Lift secrets, ninja lift, lift mash. It's also good. So everyday lift. This is also a really good fitness domain name. Everyday lift, lift crunch, lift addict. That's good. Yeah, you need to just research all the available domain names, right? So apart from a lean domain search, you can also make use of Dotometer. So this is a really good domain search tool. So what it does is it adds suffixes and prefixes to the beginning and ending of all the keywords that you enter here. Okay, now I can just copy this list and paste in here. Okay, and I can add in some suffixes related to, say, experts. Okay, so these are all the available domain names, so I can go with some of these domain names. LiftTG, okay, RepsWiz, RepsWizard, that's good. So again, you can go with other suffixes here. Fitation, that's good. Liftspan, that is good. Repzone, okay. So again, the domain names that are written by Dotometer are quite brandable. But if you want to take this further for pure brandable domain research, I make use of one tool called NameMesh. So this is a really good tool. So here you can just enter in any term and click generate. This is their affiliate link. Let me close it. So here it will return you really good domain names that are AI generated. Okay, so you will be discarding many of these AI generated domain names, but still highly urge you to go through this list carefully because there will be some hidden gems in this AI generated list. Okay, just go through this list. There are really short domain names that are very brandable. Again, you need to try out different terms here so that there will be more number of choices for you to shortlist your domain names. So I can go with something like lift. So lift and lift hop. So here you can start entering each and every term that you have researched here. Again, this is a small list, but still, like, you need to come up with at least a list of like 20 to 25 terms that are related to your niche, so that when you make use of those terms inside these tools like Lean Domain Search, Name Mesh, and Dotometer, it will be very easy for you to find the really good domain names. You can see here best of lift, 101 lift, lift sumo. Lift sumo is really good domain name. Okay, lift mix, lift dot, lift bug. This is also a really good domain name. Lift seek, build lift. So there are a lot of domain names. So when it comes to this term lift, okay, so I can also enter in training bros, 24/7. Okay, training gauge, training men if you're into men's fitness. So there are various premium domain names that this site suggests you to, right? You can go with any of these premium domain names if you are ready to shell out some money. My previous domain name was Go Blogging Tips, right? I later bought Blogging X at a premium price. So like premium domain name is also worth it if you're sure that you will be successful in blogging. Again, it depends upon you. Later you can rebrand your domain name, but still there are a lot of domain names that are free. Not free, like those are not premium, so you can easily buy them at regular price. So like if you are a beginner just trying out blogging, then I highly suggest you to go with regular pricing and not shell thousands of dollars on premium domain names. And other than this, you can also consider replacing some letters in your domain name. Okay, so you have various examples, like you have Flickr. Okay, so Flickr, this domain name is like basically a typo. Okay, so this is meant to be like Flickr, but they have skipped the word E. Okay, made it Flickr. Okay, and you have Neville Medora's copywriting course. where he has used the letter K instead of C. Okay, that's also something that you can consider. Okay, and many people also make use of some typos, like instead of creativity they replace this Y letter with I. Okay, that's something you can also consider, because by making these intentional typos, it will be very easy for you to land a really good brandable domain names. And you can also go with rhyming words. Okay, so for example, you have the term fit, right? So you can find some rhyming words for this term. Okay, so there are various rhyming words for the term fit, so you can make use of those rhyming words and check if the domain names are available. In here, I would like to introduce you another tool, that is instant domain search. So with this tool, you can instantly check the availability of any domain name dynamically when entering them. Okay, for example, you have fitness. Okay, so you can just type in whatever term you want. Fitness maximum. Okay, it's not available. Fitness maxima, it's available for $9, so you can consider buying this. Okay, so fitness maze is available for $300. Fitness made. Okay, these are all premium domain names. So these are all the domain names that are generated by instant domain search, that are also quite good depending upon the term that you have entered to begin with. Liftology. Okay, so I highly suggest you to make use of these domain name generators, and when you come across any domain name that you want to try out manually to check the availability, then you can make use of this tool, instant domain search. So once you have a really good list of domain names that you may need to go after, you need to validate them, right? So you will be going through the list of domain names that are suggested by these tools and validating domain names that are brandable, memorable, short, and etc. So you can follow the checklist included below to ease out the process, right? So we have a thorough checklist included in the description on this video so that you can validate your domain names effectively when it comes to your blog. Another crucial step in the validation phase is you need to check for any potential trademarks. So if you don't want to get sued for registering a domain name or starting a brand with a word that is trademarked, you need to pay attention to the trademark issues beforehand. So for this, you need to make use of a tool called Trademark Electronic Search Engine System. Trademark Electronic Search System. Okay, so this is the link. Okay, search or trademark database. So this link varies, like there are different parameters, and also googling about this is the best way to get the latest search engine. Okay, so basic word mark search. So here first you need to remember that in your domain name you should not include any trademarked words. Like you're not supposed to make use of words like Google, Facebook, Twitter, or WordPress, stuff like that. So suppose if you're starting a WordPress related site, so you can see what are all the WordPress related trademark words that you should not include. Okay, if you submit the query, so there are a lot of trademarks that are registered with WordPress in them. For example, you can see WordPress. So this is the trademark of WordPress by Automatic. Okay, so you should not make use of this term in your domain name. That's why you have WP Beginner, WP Sitecare, who are making use of the abbreviation of WordPress in their domain name rather than making use of WordPress as it is. And like if you are in fitness, you can just enter the term fitness, and it will return you all the fitness related trademarks that are there in the trademark electronic search system. Okay, so you need to avoid all these terms in your domain name. Apart from this, once you validate your domain names for all these things that I've included, next you need to finalize your domain name. So to finalize the domain name, you need to make use of domain ownership history tools, Wayback Machine, Backlinks Checker, and many other tools to check if the domain name was dropped a lot of times and was used for spam before. So there are many whois checking tools, whois history check tools. The most popular tool by domain tools, that is Whois history checker. So here you need to enter in your domain name and it will return you the number of times that a particular domain name has been dropped previously, so that if the domain name has been dropped multiple times, then you can pay extreme careful attention to whether the domain name was used for spam before. So you can see we have 91 historical records. The oldest record dates back more than 9 years ago. 81 significant changes. In spite of the fact that Blogging X has been used by various previous owners, I'm not finding any difficulty in ranking my site. Why? There are no spammy backlinks and spammy content that was published on Blogging X prior my acquisition. So I made sure about this by making use of Wayback Machine. So by making use of Wayback Machine, so you can check how this domain name was there, what was the nature of the content that was there in this website way back in time. Okay, so you can browse the history here and you can see all the snapshots here are taken when I acquired the domain name, and before that there were previous owners. You can see the snapshots. Okay, let me go to 2015. At that time I was not the owner, so I can just open some snapshots. So you can see, let's make some money online. So the niche that they were covering is related to blogging, so that's good. And before acquiring this domain name, I also checked for the presence of any spammy backlinks, but in my case the domain name was quite clean. It was quite related, like they used to publish some WordPress tutorials and stuff like that before my acquisition, so topical relevancy was there and also backlink database was clean. But one thing that I noticed is that the domain name bloggingx.com was banned on Facebook before my acquisition, and after me acquiring my domain name, I ran an advertisement on Facebook, and when the ad was disapproved, I raised a support request and they unbanned my domain name. Other than these two things, you need to also check whether your domain name is sandboxed by Google when it comes to Google Ads. So there are many Google Ads sandbox checkers that you can see. If a domain name has been banned from being displayed the Google Ads, then you can entirely skip that domain name, because having display advertising capability on your domain name matters a lot. Even if you are interested in affiliate marketing, but still having that provision to run Google Ads on your site will be of great importance. So there are various tools like controlq.org, Google AdSense Sandbox Checker, and yeah, 5 Google AdSense Sandbox tools to find if ads can be servable on your site. So you can make use of these tools to figure out whether your domain name has been banned from displaying Google Ads. Once you finalize your domain name, it's now the time for you to buy the domain name. So you will be making use of domain name marketplaces like Namecheap, name.com, etc. to buy your domain name. And please do note that typically there will be a steep discount for the first year registration of a domain name. So I personally avoid GoDaddy for buying my domain name, except for some premium domain purchases. The best marketplace that I can suggest you is Namecheap. Okay, so if you are having a new account with Namecheap and if it's your first domain name, then you will have 99-cent charge for the first year registration of your domain name, and later on you will be charged the regular amount that will be around $10 per year. So all you need to do is you can head over to namecheap.com. Here you can enter in the domain name that you want to get. Okay, for example, if you are interested in getting something like maybe I want to buy bloggingxpro.com, so I can just search for this and Namecheap will check whether this domain name is available. So it's available, so I can add this domain name to cart, and later on I can view the item here and I can check out. If this is your first domain name, you can add any promo code here. They have free WhoisGuard subscription, free forever. So you can optionally turn on the WhoisGuard to make sure that you will be hiding the owner of the domain name in case if you are in a secret niche. But I won't suggest you to do that in case if you are doing blogging the authoritative way. On bloggingx.com, I haven't hidden my Whois records. So it's entirely up to you. Okay, and then you need to confirm your order. Once you confirm your order, your domain name will be available in your Namecheap account once you log in. From there, once you buy your hosting, then you need to add your hosting's name servers to your domain name DNS under Namecheap or whatever registrar that you're using, so that your domain name will be linked to your web servers and further make your WordPress site active. So I will be discussing more about them further down this training course. Again, when choosing good domain names, it's easy to get stuck in analysis paralysis, wherein no matter how hard you analyze, you won't be able to decide upon a domain name. I can easily relate to this, right? So in those times, you need to remember that your audience are not as obsessed about your blog name as you do, right? You need to trust your intuition and move forward with faith. Don't overthink about the domain name. The content is the thing that matters.